Alright guys, how's it going? Turned out nice again. Yorkshire tea biscuit. I don't get paid for it. Loads of you have actually, alright, not loads, but several of you have said, don't can't now drink that Yorkshire tea biscuit, bro. When I came back from England on Thursday, I had some of you will have seen it, my Liverpool FC cabin bag, and one side was completely full of tea bags. I don't know where they are. I don't know where I've put them, because if you saw them, you'd laugh your pants off. They normally look like this, but I wouldn't be able to fit them in my bag. So I'm wondering, where are they? Here they are. I brought them back like this, and there's literally about 10 of these, all like stashed tight in the case. I just glad I didn't have to open it up. So I like my Yorkshire tea biscuit brew. Yeah, it's very nice. How you doing? You all right? Good. I'm back. Can you tell? I might be a big lad. I might be getting older, but you know what? You're still handsome girls, aren't I? Yeah. I do talk some shite. Oh, God, I've missed you guys. Joey Barton, what do you think of Joey Barton at the minute? Do you follow him on X? If you do not follow him on X, right, you need to follow him on X, because he's gone absolutely crazy. Listen, regardless of what you think of Joey Barton, I don't know if I like him or dislike him, to be honest with you. Sometimes I think he's a bit of a knob. Sometimes I just think, I like anybody in life, whether they're in politics or whether it's football, any walk of life, that speaks their mind. Even if it's something I completely disagree with, I love people that have got the balls to stand up and say what they believe, as long as it's not like, hatred. I don't like hatred. Some people hide behind free speech, and that, you know what I mean? I don't like that, right? Free speech doesn't give you the right to be racist or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I can't stand that. So there's a difference between free speech and hate and that. But I like people that, especially in today's society, because where you can't say anything without fear of offending someone, that say, no, this is what I believe and I don't give a fuck whether you like it or not. This is who I am. And I've always kind of had that attitude going through life. I say kind of, because even I, at 49 now, have calmed down, because it's just not worth the hassle, of upsetting someone. And in fact, when I'm on X now, formerly known as Twitter, at Duncan Oldham, because they gave me my account back. Elon gave me my account back, can you believe that? You just watch my last video and I'll tell you all about it. No, 2 videos back. Here I am, I'm going off again, aren't I? Even when I'm on Twitter now, I think about everything I say now so that I don't get suspended again. And it shouldn't be like that. If you're on Mastodon, which is the Twitter rival, LiverpoolFootballClub.social, put that into your browser, it'll take you to Mastodon, our server. I can say what the fuck I want in there, because it's my fucking server, isn't it? But you've got to be careful what you say. Now, something today that you can't say is, women football commentators are shite. You're not allowed to say that. I said it, and I believe it, and I do believe it. So Joey Barton is going on this at the moment, right? I have a funny feeling that John Terry, I don't know if it was John Terry, put out a video a couple of years back, commentating on the, referencing the football that was on the TV or something, and said something like, what's this racket? And it was a woman commentator, and I'm sure he had to apologise, or he took it down or something. I can't remember, some of you might remember. But Joey Barton, this last week, has just gone out there and said, it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And the women in the studios in the football are pathetic. How can a woman that's played professional football at female level sit in a studio? This is something I've always said. Manchester City, Manchester United, men's game today. How can she turn around and say, well, what I would have done? Do you know what I mean? And I agree with him. I've got to be honest. I don't care if it makes me, a dinosaur. Because I believe that. I do believe it. My mum, God bless her, and she's been gone now for 11 years. My mum, right, if I put football and be a woman being interviewed on TV, in studio or whatever, something like that, my mum used to say, what the fuck does she know about football? Now, don't take it the wrong way, girls, right? Don't take it the wrong way. That's a woman saying that, that's up to her, that was her opinion, doesn't mean it's right. And I have a daughter, right? And when she was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, she used to go to a soccer school, right? It was called a soccer school. Obviously, it's a football school, but it was actually called Nigel Carson's Soccer School. And I used to pay for Charlotte to go. And she was the only girl out of about 30 kids, 30 boys that'd be there. So she obviously got best girl trophy every time, which probably made her sound better than she was. Bless her, I hope she's not watching this video. She works on Cop Talk now, she helps me, by the way. She's a good help, is Charlotte. She's a lovely girl. Massive Liverpool fan. Unlike my grandson that thinks he's a Man City fan, right? And her partner, who's a Sunderland fan. Anyway, I always encourage Charlotte to play football. Charlotte loves watching Liverpool. Me and Charlotte been to Liverpool games. We've done all sorts, right? I have no problem, and I encourage absolutely the girls can be as switched on as any guy when it comes to football, right? Not taking the piss. My mum used to sit and watch Liverpool with me and cheer them games. She went to the 2001 UEFA Cup final, or whatever it was called at the time, with me. You know, just me and my mum, right? So, and my mum stood on the cop and sung You'll Never Walk Alone and everything, right? So, women should be in football. There's no doubt about it. And I completely support the women's game as well, right? The women's game, absolutely. I think it's brilliant to see the women's game. I do not watch the women's game because I do not like it. And if you say that, if I go online and say, women's game, what a load of shite, you automatically are sexist, that's it. And it's like, well, no, because I don't like watching the men's reserves, or I don't like watching England friendlies, you know, men's football. There's just certain parts and elements of football I don't like. I didn't enjoy watching top flight football, Liverpool playing during the pandemic when it was behind closed doors because there's no fans there. So to me, it's no different watching 11 blokes 22 blokes, should I say, kicking a ball around on a field at the end of your road, right? So for me, football is all about atmosphere. It's not just about those players on the pitch, right? It's about atmosphere. And I think you've got to be a really die-hard fan if you can go along and say, well, no, I could watch that football all day with no fans. It's just, I don't know, right? So for me, it's about atmosphere, it's about history, you know? And obviously you've got to make history many, many years ago for it to be relevant in the future or now. So football for me has always been like when you play your rivals or any team, right? And you always remember the last time. You know, when something went wrong, when maybe a player got sent off, or you remember that play, right? And when one of your players goes in and crunches him, you know, and it's like got the payback from a game a year or 2 years ago, and everyone knows why that sliding tackle went in and put him on his ass, right? So football, I like that. I like it when it kicks off and when they all start scrapping on the pitch and all that. Do you know what I mean? Getting each other by the throat. I love it, man. I like that, right? But I'm a passive person. I'm not a violent person. It's just part of the football. Do you know what I mean? And so watching youth football, you don't have that. Women's football, I have no experience of that. International football, I can't relate to those players. Do you know what I mean? Unless if it's the World Cup, then fine. Or World Cup finals or Euros or whatever, then fine. But what I'm saying is, there are certain elements of football I don't like, and it's not exclusive to women's football, right? Women's football, I've tried to watch it, I just don't like it, right? That's it. It's not because, they shouldn't be playing football. No, go and play for it. You should, absolutely. And I hope it becomes as big as the men's game. I don't believe this shite where they say we should be paid the same. I mean, what's that all about? You know what I mean? You should be paid the same if you stack shelves in a supermarket, you're a man, you're a woman, should be on the same level of pay. If you're a barrister, maybe the same level of pay. I say maybe because it depends on your experience and success in life, right? But generally speaking, in normal jobs in life, men and women should be on the same pay if they're doing the same job to the same standard. Fuck too, right? Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. But when they start saying this in football, it's like, well, hang on a minute. You haven't got the audience that the men's games got. You're not getting the money from the advertising deal, the TV broadcasts and everything. So you can't put it on that. But I want the women's game to succeed. And I remember probably around, 13 years ago maybe, and I'm sure I mentioned this in videos at the time, someone advised me and because it was all about websites then, not like apps and social media and all that. Now, someone said, Dunk, if you want to get your teeth stuck into something other than a fucking cheeseburger, then what you should do is a website about women's football. It's going to be massive. It's going to take off, right? And it has, and it is, and that's fine. But, I don't like the female commentators on the football. I don't. And it's not because I personally think they're not good enough. I don't know if they are or not, right? Joey Barton seems to think they're not and is using examples of that. For me, it's about the noise. Do you know what I mean? I like the dulcet, the deep voices of the old commentators. Barnes, Roche, Powell. Do you know what I mean? Right? So there are male football commentators I don't like. Jonathan Pearce, I don't even know if he's still around, but Jonathan Pearce, I think he started on 5 Live or something like that. He had that right screechy voice. Oh, fucking hell, not him. I can't listen to him. It's just, for me, personally, I do not think, oh, there's a fucking woman on it. No, I just think, oh, I can't listen to that shit. And I will go through the dodgy box that I don't own looking for an alternative feed, right? Now, when it comes to the women in the studio, Joey Barton's saying that that's depriving a male former footballer. You know, maybe he's butthurt because he's not there. But he's basically saying, well, you know, I don't know about you. For example, this is me saying this now about you, but it's Liverpool, Everton. I want to see like someone from the 80s or 70s or 80s, even 60s, I don't know. The further back, the better, to say this is what it was like when we played here, and Shanks was there, and, you know, all these memories, and Dalglish was going mental, or Paisley, or Ronnie Moran. I want to hear all that. And from the opposition side as well. I love history in football now. I do, guys. I think it's fucking great. The women can't bring that because they've never been in that scenario. That's not their fault, but they just haven't. So I don't want to hear about some woman that played for Wimbledon fucking Dons or whatever they're called, telling us, you know, what I would have done there, you know, when fucking, you know, Steven Gerrard lost the ball, or when he's like, no, shut the fuck up. No, so it'll be Joey Barton, I'm down on that. I agree with that. I watched the professional darts at Christmas, the World Darts Championship. As some of you know, you've followed me for years. I used to go every year at Christmas with my kids. That's why it's a big deal to me. I watch it every year. I think it starts on Friday this week, right? That's when Christmas starts. I love the PDC World Championship darts. I don't watch rest of the year, to be honest with you, but I love it at Christmas. Brings back good memories, you know? And then they started doing that. They got rid of the fucking walk-on girls. Who remembers that picture of our son, Robert, went viral? Do you remember he was stood behind the girl? She was stood there, the walk-on girl with the right short dress and that. Oh, you what? Right? And my son was stood behind, I think he was 10 or 11 at the time, and he had his little dart sign up and he'd wrote on it, I'm only here for the walk-on girls. And it got retweeted and sent all over the world. I think Lads Bible put it out there. And even the walk-on girls said, hey, starting young, you know what I mean? Like, so it's all big fun and that. But I don't have them anymore now because it's sexist, you're allowed it. Do you know what I mean? It's all that bullshit they can't be doing with, right? But they've got the women in the studios now telling us about the darts. I don't want to hear that shit. Get in the fucking kitchen. No, I'm only joking. Well, I mean, you can get in the kitchen. It'd be a lot tidier if there was a woman in here right now. Anyway, so Joey Barton, in my opinion, is saying a lot of what many people actually think, but dare say, right? None of the other footballers are coming out and backing him up as far as I'm aware, but you're not telling me that Joey Barton's the only one that fucking thinks it. And thinking it don't mean it's right. Don't have your nose put out, right, if you disagree with Joey Barton or what I'm saying, right? I will repeat it. I want the women involved. Absolutely. You know, and I do think that there are some women in the football game that go in the studios. I think, yeah, she knows what she's talking about. She's like, she can't talk from experience, but why can she not have an opinion like many of our female supporters do, right? Don't have a problem with that. It's when they're just fucking there on, you know, just to tick a box. And that's what Joey Barton's saying. Excuse me, to tick a box. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, we got the woman, that's it, we're cool. Virtue signaling, I hate it. Do you know what I mean? If I was a woman, I'd be more offended by that. I'd be thinking, what the fuck? If it was all about, you know, oh, we need to get someone, you know, some fat fucker in the studio, get him, and then get me, I'd be like, is it because I'm knowledgeable or is it because I'm a chubster? Do you know what I mean? Joey Barton is saying what I think a lot of people fucking think, to be honest with you, and I'd set my hat off to him. Maybe he is a knob. Maybe he is a thug or whatever he's done. I know he's done some horrific things in his career. I don't know. I don't really pay much attention, right? Do you know what I mean? But I shouldn't form my opinions today on his, as Brendan Rodgers would say, character. I shouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people do that, don't they? Someone might say something, you go, well, I can't agree with that because you know what? Do you know what he once said about Liverpool? I don't give a fuck what he once said about Liverpool. Judge people on what they're saying now. Do you know what I mean? What do you think? I bet some people dare fucking even say it. But this is the problem. And this is where 10 years ago on my YouTube channel, I'd have said anything I fucking wanted. Now you can't. You can't say anything you want now. Not on here, anyway. And it's not even to be deliberately controversial. Controversy sells. There's no doubt about that. It's no coincidence that Joey Barton's is launching a podcast this week, I think, right? So he's getting a lot of attention. You know, some of the girls that are involved in the game, presenters have bit and responded to him, and he's having to go back, and they're all arguing, and that drums up interest. If you were launching a new YouTube channel or a blog or whatever, the best thing you can ever do is say controversial things. I know this more than anybody, right? But when you get a bit older and wiser, like me, apparently, you start to think, oh, I can't be doing with it. Because if I came on here and said what I really think about some of these journalists that represent Liverpool Football Club and some of these Twitter ITKs, people would love the content. The revenue would go through the roof, but then you get all the hate and you're just like, oh, I'm too old for this shit. Do you know what I mean? I ain't got anything to promote. I don't need to promote anything. Joey Barton needs to promote his podcast and he's saying things that are a bit controversial, but he's not lying, is he? You know what I mean? If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go on Google and search Joey Barton, I'm sure you'll find it. Or just go to twitter.com/Joey7Barton. I guess it was Joey7Barton. I don't know what his number was. It's certainly more interesting listening to people like him than fans like Gary Lineker. That's what I would say. They're on there today talking about Gary Lineker on TV. You know, should he be sacked from the BBC because of his views? Well, I don't agree with his views, to be honest. You know what I mean? But someone was on there saying he's got immense political sway. Who the fuck's going to change their political opinions because of a former footballer and Gary Lineker at that? We've all got our views, right? You've got your views, I've got my views. No one is ever going to change my views about anything. Because that's just the way it is. That's what we're all like here. I'll listen to you. But I don't think anyone like Gary Lineker is going to change my mind on something. You know what I mean? So, what I'm basically trying to say there is Gary Lineker can say what the fuck he wants. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he can't, because he works for the BBC, he should be impartial and all that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not the sort of person that would go around sulking because he's saying something I disagree with. You know, people should be able to say what they want as long as it's not deliberately hate. So both men there, Joey Barton and Gary Lineker, I don't think they're deliberately hating on anyone. They're just expressing their opinions, yeah? One's a bit soft, one's a bit hard. That's it. Depends what time of day it is, girls, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really. I don't have any problems in that department. I've got to be honest, I've got a good response for it. I'm just looking over there, some medication. Joey Barton. I think Joey Barton's right. But please, listen to me. Again, I'm going to repeat one more time. Girls, women, I encourage them to play football, support football. They are they know what they're talking about, just like some of the fellas do. All right, I ain't got no problem with that. Some of these women in the studio, if you're there on merit, perfect. But don't be that tick box, like, oh, we've got to meet the criteria, because it's disgusting. You know what I mean? I can't stand that, mate. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what level you've played at women's football. You cannot compare it to the man's game. You can have an overall opinion. But come on, Tottenham versus Arsenal, and there's some woman there saying, well, when I played for Arsenal, in the derby games, like, no, fuck off, man. I'm not having that. So I agree with Joey Barton, and I'm glad he's getting stuck in. I don't have to like him, I don't have to dislike him, I don't have to agree with everything he's saying, but I think Joey Barton's saying things that a lot of people are agreeing with, but they admit it, and I'm admitting it. I don't care if it gets me into trouble. And I know there'll be thumbs downs on this video, so make sure you thumbs it up if you don't normally. Trust me. Because then I'll be upset. You know that, don't you? You know there'll be people upset. So don't just, you know, if you don't normally like it, just like it. See what the majority say. Right. Oh, I'm back. Joey Barton. Yeah, he's right. I think he's right on it. Please thumbs up the video. Make sure you do it on this video because I reckon it'll get hammered. And leave a comment as well. I'd really appreciate it because I like to read your comments. Your feedback's important. Hey, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. Maybe it is dinosaur opinion or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I think you need to listen to the specific arguments. It's not about women. Like, well, we don't want women in there because they should be in the kitchen. Where the fuck it should be, right? I genuinely don't mean that. I don't mean that, man. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I know I've got to be careful what I say. I'll be honest with you. But if you're my girl, right? Listen, guys, right? Listen, don't take the piss, right? But you know, on a Sunday morning or whatever, you know, weekend morning, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna do like a cooked breakfast for my girl. Do you know what I mean? And put it on a tray with a little bit of orange juice, no flour or anything. And then I'll take it to the room. Go down. You're gonna need some breakfast. Oh, thanks. And I'll run a bath when you come home from work. You know what I mean? Go take your bath. Say, I'm a gentleman. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll say, get you fucking right. Okay, get you. Ooh, got a little twitch then.